What's up guys, it's Jake with TN Tac. Coming at you with another video, and today we are doing another video follow-up on the Canik Rival. We are going to be discussing the pros and cons of this particular pistol, as well as if it's really worth your time and money to get.
Stand by!
So I've had plenty of time to just put hundreds of rounds down range through it. We also let my father shoot it, trying it out for the first time, and he is a first-time gun owner, first-time shooter. Very new to the whole entire experience, even with loading mags and racking the slide. He had a chance to shoot it and he really loved it. Did a great job with it. I was impressed. And we also let Brent shoot it, our cameraman who does a lot of our filming. He's sort of like in the middle of the road between my father, who's new, and myself, who's got a little bit more experience. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm like the pro shooter or anything like that. Brent's kind of like a good halfway point between where my father's at as a new shooter and myself. Honestly, with all three of us, there were some different things that we liked and there were some things that we had issues with, but overall we all shot very well with it, relatively speaking. I gotta be honest with you, I messed up. So real quickly, let's just show clear here, make sure everything's kosher. All right, everybody good with that? Empty, all that good stuff. In my first Canik Rival video, I had said incorrectly that Stanley Arms was involved with the development, the production of the barrel, the trigger itself. I was incorrect, and I'm going to own up to that. I want to give a quick shout out to Frank the Tank, who corrected me. Turns out the Canik Rival is completely 100% made by Canik. There were no aftermarket parts added in by a third party. So thank you again, sir. I appreciate you correcting me on that. So let's talk about my perspective. So I do have a little bit more experience, years of shooting and doing competition, all that good stuff all around. For me, I really felt like I was able to shoot much more quickly and more accurately than I ever could when shooting competition with, say, a Glock 34, or really just about any other pistol I've used so far on the channel. For me, it was great. It was easy to get rapid follow-up shots, cutting my split times down significantly in competition. And overall, I felt comfortable with going faster with my shooting and still maintaining that accuracy. So for me personally, as more of like a competition shooter, I thought it did wonderfully well. And at 650, I think it was very well worth it. From my father's perspective, he tried out several different pistols and he was trying to pick out one that he was most comfortable with. And the Canik Rival was one of the better ones that he had the best experience with. You're getting it, yeah, you're getting it, look at that. The Canik Rival stood out the most to him as being the most clean shooting and the most accurate for him, even as a new shooter. See all those holes you put in it?
This is all, okay. I like it. So far, this would be my first choice, Jacob.
And I was happy for him, I really was. He really thoroughly enjoyed it. And then we also had Brent, who's sort of like in the middle of the road between new shooter and experienced competition shooter. And Brent, you tell me, I think you did better than you have with most of our other pistols. You really got a lot of shots close on paper to that bullseye.
Once I figured out how you had it zeroed, of course, yeah, it was very spot on.
I like to cover the target with the front sight. Some people like to line it up to the top, which is standard. I'm just kind of weird and like to actually cover the front sight on wherever I'm planning on shooting. The reason why I do it that way is because for me, where I'm shooting competition, it's so much easier to just quickly, rapidly find that front fiber optic, and where that front fiber optic is, send that shot. You know, where that front fiber optic is, that's where the bullet is going. It's easier and faster for me to do that as a competition shooter rather than try to line up the front rear sight so the top edge is just perfectly lined, and thinking to myself, okay, it's going to hit above the fiber optic almost. That's just been my preference over the years. We do have some things that we liked, and there are some couple things that we don't like about it. For me, one of the major cons about this pistol is that sometimes it's very hard to find factory Canik mags. If you recall, we had to get a couple of aftermarket mags. I believe they were Pro Mag, and thankfully they ran flawlessly in our competition first shots video. Factory mags are still kind of hard to find right now, like April 2022 at the time of this video. Another con that I would point out that's kind of a big deal for this particular grade model is that you don't get that fifth extra plate back here that allows you to retain the rear sight while also having a red dot. Now, I get it. This is made more for competition. They did come out with the Dark Side Rival version that has the extra plate in there already, and it's all black. That's more for, I guess, for like a carry, like a duty kind of setup, and this is more for competition, even though it's the exact same firearm. And they probably just wanted to sell more Caniks too, let's be honest. They probably wanted to sell both. I don't think too many people that are actually carrying this pistol for duty are going to want gray and gold accent parts. They probably would prefer a solid black pistol. I love everything else about this pistol. I just don't like that there's limited options on mags and that they don't offer you everything that you could get with the Dark Side version. My father isn't presently here at this moment to give his pros and cons, but a new shooter may be a little bit distracted by all the bells and whistles and features that come with this right out of the box. They may not really take advantage of them or really even care about the different things that they have at their disposal. And also for your average, common, everyday, middle-of-the-road experienced shooter, there are some pros and cons of this as well.
The only gripe that I have with this firearm, I've shot quite a bit. It's not a thing that I do consistently, I would say, as a hobby. Been around guns, but it's not my life. But if I wanted it to be, you know, I enjoyed the match so much that we went to. That might be a thing I'd be interested in getting into. If that was the case, I would definitely look at this as a solid entry for a firearm to use in those competitions. I like the way it shoots. The only gripe I had with it, this little ridge right here really dug into my soft little baby hand. And it actually, you can see there, left kind of a little mark after 4 magazines. So other than that, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't mind owning one myself because I haven't shot a lot of guns that are set up for competition. I know a lot of them feature those really angular triggers. I almost like something a little more ergonomic, personally. I love the thing, is my take. Solid 8 out of 10.
Your average everyday person that's trying to get into competition, this might be a good choice.
It might be. I mean, the price point of $650 is really, I mean, I'm sure it's a little more expensive now, but it's still probably a pretty decent price point for what you get out of the box. I'm not used to it sitting on top of the target, but I think I like it. I might sight in one of mine that way.
So all in all, there are pros and cons, just depending on your experience and what you're looking for in a pistol. But if you're looking for something that's competition, that's kind of ready right out of the box, this has definitely got a lot more pros than cons to it. And I think we all highly recommend it. Myself, my father, and Brent as well. We all had a great time with it. We enjoyed it. We loved every minute of it. Again, not sponsored, not affiliated in any means whatsoever. We bought this with our own money. But I'm saying to you right now, I think if you chose to get this particular pistol to get into competition, I think you would have a really great experience with it. Guys, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Did you pick up a Canik Rival? I'd love to hear from you. We will see you next time. I was going to say free to make free, but...
Oh no, that sounded like it was probably a couple dollars around.
Yeah.